So, are you still seeing that Dagoth Ur guy? I haven't seen you post any pictures of him lately.
Oh no, we, decided to break up. He's got some weird kinks I wasn't into, but he was nice about me not being into them.
Well, that's good to hear. I wouldn't want to have to go cave his face in like I did with that Cicero guy. What was his deal, anyway?
Cicero's deal was that he was crazy. Like, actually genuinely batshit insane.
Seriously, sis. You know the rule. Don't let crazy stick its dick in you. Well, where in the hell are you finding these guys?
I work the night shift at a club, Miraak. All the freaks and creeps and weirdos are out at 2 a.m.
You really don't have to do that. You can always just come work at the restaurant I manage. It would be a lot safer than the club.
Yes, but with the club, I'll have the student loan paid off by year's end. Once I've done that, then I'll come and take a job at the restaurant, all right?
Threatening the lawyer's person is grounds for loss of a percentage of inheritance, just so you know.
You slimy little weasel. There is no way my father would ever write that into his will.
Ah, the prodigal children return. I certainly hope you're more polite than your father, because I can promise you'll do well if you are. Sit down, sit down. We've much to discuss. I've already portioned things out to Mr. Parthenax, so he won't be joining us today.
I knew the two of you would turn up. Anything to make your father unhappy, you're sure to do in an instant.
Good morning to you too, Dad. Let's just try to get through this without having an argument. All right. I have the day off, and I'd like to spend it doing something actually relaxing.
And you, Sadrith, what have you been up to? Still disgracing the Dova name by making yourself a spectacle for others?
Let us begin before this turns sour. Really, it's all quite simple. All you three have to do is listen. Now, Alduin, as far as wealth goes, you'll retain access to the trust fund, as well as a controlling interest in your father's Skyrim oil concession. Should you return to work at Timecore, you might also expect some generous stock options as well. As far as his fleet of antique vehicles, well, he wrote that he's sure you understand why you weren't left any of them. And of course, let me see here. Now, when I give you this paper relaying how many actual septims your dearly departed father left you, I expect you to remember, challenging the will in any way is grounds for immediate forfeiture of...
Yes, I'm aware of that. You've told me 3 or 4 times now. Hand it over. Ugh, that's all.
I'll ignore that. Your father was well aware of your keen business sense and thought you more than capable of expanding your fortune as a result. If you're interested, he has some real estate ventures I could show you later. Now, on to your children.
Miraak, your grandfather seems to have thought you would be most interested in one of his antique cars. Let's see, a black '66 Impala. He included a note saying, I know you'd have preferred a '67, but this is the best I can do. Ha! Sense of humor, that akatosh. An insurance policy and a sum of septims valued at this amount. Better pick your jaw up before it rolls away, boy. Now, this next one's gonna be a bit different, as there'll be some extra things for you to sign. Your grandfather has left you the Dova Lounge. I'm sure you remember that place. Nice place to do business lunches.
Of course he would leave Miraak the lounge. Not that the boy's going to know what to do with it. He doesn't even know how to run an office. He'll fail entirely at a lounge.
I've been running a restaurant for 2 years now, Dad. Thanks for knowing. Wow. The lounge. I remember that place pretty well. Swanky joint. I'm looking forward to this.
Now, before I start with what he's left you, Sadrith, I want to add in that he's left you both the 6th Street property. He mentions that if you wish to sell it, it must be to another member of the family. So, no spouses or loved ones, only blood relatives. He wishes it to stay with a Dova, essentially.
I doubt it will stay with them for long. I imagine they'll turn it over to Parthenax just to spite me. Or maybe Sadrith will turn it into some kind of nonsensical art museum.
Well, it's a nice house, and art lightens things up. The sunroom in the back would make for a really nice studio.
Art is a hobby, not a career, Sadrith. How many times do I have to explain this to you?
As I was saying, the house is an asset the two of you inherit jointly, along with a small trust fund that will ensure you don't have to worry about any pesky things like property taxes or food. As for what will be yours alone, let's see here. A blue 78 Esprit, his entire art collection too. I have here a few numbers from people he said might be interested in buying some of your art. It seems he had a copy of each painting you've done, and several people mentioned, well, at any rate, back on the subject, an insurance policy was included, and here's the amount.
Oh, wow. This is enough to pay off my student loans twice over.
All right now. Is everyone satisfied? Because we have things to sign before I can release any of this to you.
Looks like another late night. I suppose I should order something in. Nerevarine, where are you? I swear that guy wanders off too easily.
You rang, boss. Sorry, I was bringing dinner up from the employee entrance, and that's always a long walk, even with the elevator. The food's in the break room, unless you'd prefer I bring it in here.
I'll probably get to it soon then. I have a lot more to sort through before I can...
Sir, you need to eat now. You know how you get when you're hungry. Besides, it's Akaviri takeout.
How did you know what I was going to order?
But sir, I've worked for you for 8 years. Oh, and before I forget, Endus is waiting on line 2. He said something about that story you were working on, Alduin's children. He says one of them just inherited the Dova Lounge.
What's his source, did he say?
His own 2 eyes, sir. It's the place he goes to every night when he leaves here. I'll just bring the food up here to your office. You'll probably be there a while. Endus said he had some notes.